Justice Olukayode Ariwoola on Thursday retired as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, having clocked 70. While delivering his valedictory speech at the Supreme Court complex in Abuja, Ariwoola disclosed that to suit the times and address current challenges, he signed off on the new Supreme Court Rules 2024 earlier this month. He explained that upon assuming office as the CJN 2 years ago, he was concerned about the rules regulating procedures in the Apex Court, which had been in place for 39 years, predating the advent of the internet and electronic transactions. He noted that although practice directions have been issued periodically over the years to meet the demands of justice, the substantive rules were still from 1985.
32 years, I have always had one judgment or ruling pending for me to write. I cannot recall a single time in the last 3 decades when there was no judgment for me to write. I am glad to see my younger brother Ademola Abbas Ariwoola seated here now with us this morning. He has been based in the United States since his undergraduate days in the early 80s. Anytime I had traveled to visit him for vacation, his wife would always exclaim that she had never seen someone coming on vacation with records of appeals and briefs of argument or writing judgments. It is for this reason that I believe that emoluments of judicial officers must not be sweated for in or outside the office. Our judges must not be made to go cap in hand to beg before their remunerations is paid. Our retired justices deserve to live in a relative reasonable comfort after spending their prime years serving the country. This is more so that they are constitutionally precluded from going back to active practice as barristers after leaving office. If truth must be told, the welfare of the judiciary is the welfare of the country.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu is expected to return to Nigeria to swear in Kudirat Kekere-Ekun as the Chief Justice of Nigeria on Friday. The president is flying into the country on Thursday night. The swearing-in ceremony will take place at the council chambers in the presidential villa, Abuja. To look at this development, we're joined by legal practitioner Tunji Abdulhameed. Tunji, thank you for joining us.
Hey, City, thank you for having me. Good evening.
Good evening. Ariwoola retires with a call for measures to be put in place to reduce the burden on the Supreme Court, as there are too many cases before the court which ought to have been terminated at the appellate court. Coming from one who could have helped, how do you receive his message?
Well, it's unfortunate that this is what we do in our country. When people are in a position to make changes, they will not put those changes in place, or they will not even they will not struggle much to have those changes in place. But when they are about leaving or when they have left, that's when they now begin to make a claim for those reforms. And this is not the first time. Even I remember one of these. I can't remember his name now. One of these Supreme Court justices that retired sometime last year or so. On his graduation day too, he said so many things that ought to have been said while in office, or ought to have been worked on while in office. He made so many suggestions that are very germane and are very critical to our development in judiciary. But I was wondering, what was he doing while he was there? Did he push for all this? Did he make enough demand or enough push to have those things in place? I wouldn't know, and I don't know what effort he has done. But I think if he has done that, he will also tell us that I've done this, I've done that to make sure these are in place. But unfortunately, I couldn't get it. But it appears he's just making those suggestions now or reform. We need those reforms that he mentioned. That's why my worry is that while he was there, what was he doing?
To be fair, Tunji, to be fair, he was there for just 2 years, and in bringing you on, we did mention some of the things he said he was able to accomplish in the time that he was CJN. So 2 years, is that, aren't you maybe judging him too harshly? Are there things he could have accomplished in that time that you think he didn't?
Felicity, I was not in any way judging the former CJN. I was not at all. I was just making comment based on what he said. He was making a recommendation where he has the opportunity to also implement those recommendations, or to also push for those recommendations while in office. That was what I was saying. I wasn't saying that he was sitting down and doing nothing, or he did not do anything. But what I'm saying that if these are the problem we have. Welfare issue, the welfare of the judiciaries are not judges are not taking seriously. Some other issues that reform, that corruption in the judiciary, backlog of cases, so many other things he mentioned, they are very germane. But I was wondering, he has the opportunity to push for some of this reform while he was there. I'm not saying some of them are not within his power, but he can push for it. He can make recommendations, he can make requests, he can make recommendations to those who are supposed to do it. But I am saying that, look, I am not aware. He may have done it. But I also say that if he has done it, he will tell us what that I have done this, I have done this, I have done that. You, the incoming CJN, please follow up on it so that we'll get the results. That's what I was saying. 2 years is not true. It's not a small day. 2 years is enough for to get some certain reform done in the judiciary.
Okay, we know that the National Judicial Council has recommended Kekere-Ekun to preside over, to be Ariwoola's successor. What do we know about her, really?
Well, I think I met Justice Kekere-Ekun while she was a judge of the High Court in Lagos State. I think I was just barely a young lawyer when she was elevated to the Court of Appeal. And the little time I appeared before her, she was a thorough judge, very disciplined, and then doesn't tolerate any nonsense. So she's a very articulate and a very thorough person. That's what I know about her. Okay.
Would you expect her to do better, pending? Of course, we heard the president is probably going to cut his trip short to come and swear her in. Do you expect her to do better than what we've had with Ariwoola?
Yeah, every person that is coming in to replace anybody must be able to do better. So I am expecting her to do better. But let me also correct an impression. She will be sworn in as acting Chief Judge of Nigeria, not CJN person. Our appointment must be approved by the Senate. It must be confirmed by the Senate. Until that is done, she cannot be addressed as a substantial Chief Justice of Nigeria. But like I said, I expect that she will do much better than those who are there, and she has more time than the current than the retired CJN. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't saying that the Justice Ariwoola, the CJN retired, did not do nothing. I was just trying to say, look, those comments he made, those are not the appropriate time to make it. He should have made those comments or made those things while he was in office, so that people will know and they'll be able to say, look, I've been doing this, I've been doing that. You will not be waiting till when we are leaving office or when we have left office to make recommendations that we believe will change our system.
Tunji, it was important, the clarification you made about the fact that the president is only going to swear her in an acting capacity. I think the wait time for the Senate is between 4 to 6 months, right? In Ariwoola's case, it was 4 months. Do we expect that to get up to
3 months?
Okay. Thank you for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.